Welcome back to another episode of Gridiron Guys. I'm your host, Luke, with my co-host, Jim.
Time's a charm, baby. Let's go. Howdy, y'all.
Oh, we didn't have to say that. But anyway, if you like what you see,
makes
like,
it
comment,
awesome.
subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you never miss any of our content. We're going to break down some sports that happened over the weekend for mostly NFL and college. We've got some volleyball talk and we got some baseball talk. We'll talk about baseball. The Astros got shit pounded last night, and the Texas Rangers are going to their second ever World Series. I think the final score was like 11-2.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely wild. These are down 1-0 right now. Are they playing? They're playing in Philly, right? Correct?
In Philly.
So they're at the bank.
They got them. Yeah, they're at the bank. They got them light poles all greased up, ready for a win.
Dude,
it looks like it's going to be a dogfight tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, and that's kind of why I picked the Phillies, because I love it when that fucking city wins. It's a
hilarious.
madhouse.
Awesome.
It is so funny. Those, like, the people of Philadelphia are absolute nut jobs when it comes to sports, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they get so passionate. It just reminds me of how like people are around here when the Huskers win. And speaking of the Huskers, great segue myself. Thank you. The Lady Huskers are the number one team in volleyball, after taking out the previous number one team in Wisconsin. Went 5 sets and was decided by a net violation. That game was insane.
Yep, that was a for sure game of 1 versus 2 there. It's not our last time seeing them this year in the regular season.
Nope.
I think we see him again, even in the maybe national championship.
If they're smart, they won't put us in the same fucking side of the
They
bracket.
better fucking not, dude. If you want people to watch women's volleyball, you better separate these two teams.
So. It was the most viewed volleyball game in history. What we got?
We got a home run by the Phillies. 1-1.
Oh, 1-1. 1-1. Who was it? Schwartz?
Oh, it was
Turner.
Some some long hair. Brom something.
Oh, Brom. Okay, cool.
Yeah, some long hit the shit out of it.
Damn.
Sorry, dude, live update there.
Whenever they hit it, they either like strike out or they hit homers. Like they hit dingers, man. It's wild. Like we were saying, like that game on Saturday night was the most viewed volleyball game in history, which is absolutely insane because there have been a lot of good volleyball games that have been played in the history of college volleyball. This just proves that ESPN should have volleyball on their network.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
this also just proves that like Nebraska is the pinnacle of women's sports, in my opinion. I mean, like volleyball is huge for the women's sports in all sports, even. It's like everyone tunes in when Nebraska volleyball's on. So I feel like if I had to compare, Nebraska volleyball to any team, it'd be like the Bama in the 2010s or Florida in the 2000s or Miami. I mean, it was must-watch TV. Notre Dame back in the 80s for your old farts there. Your Luke Hulks out there. It's just must-watch TV.
I tell you what about that Nebraska Husker volleyball team. They can really hit the shit out of the ball.
There you go. But yeah, it's must-watch TV, and people love watching them. And we love watching them win. We support our women's, and let's get after it, girls. Let's finish the season undefeated, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. The Big Ten is the hardest conference in volleyball. Yep. It's so tough. I mean, they've had out of the 14 teams, like 5 of them are usually ranked in the top 10, top 15.
100%.
It's absolutely insane. And there's a lot of tradition. Penn State being good, Nebraska being good, Wisconsin being good, Minnesota being good from time to time. They've got really good representation. And I think it's insane. The fun fact, Nebraska volleyball is one of the only college teams that actually make money for the university, like their university.
Oh, that's a good fact to know, actually.
Yeah, revenue-wise. It's like one of the only.
It speaks loudly of our fan base, any sport we play. It doesn't matter if it's tractor pulling or bowling, we're going to support the shit out of them. So
absolutely. Speaking of college games, we're not going to get straight into the Huskers because we'll talk a little bit more on that in a little bit. Records, college football. I am 17-12. Nate is 15-12, and Brad is 7-3.
15-12, dude. I'm not pleased with that, but I'll take it because it's a winning record and everything, you know. But we got to do better, folks. I got to do better for you guys.
Hey, all I gotta say is that if I didn't hit 5-0 last week, I would still be treading water. There was a while there I was not even close to being 100 at all. So Brad had a nice little pick. Like, let's go through the picks. I had Penn State plus 4.5. That fucking sucked.
Bama, yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Bama minus 8.5. That was dub. Mizzou keeps winning, minus 5.5. Dub. Utah, biggest fucking dub of the fucking night. Under 30. Thank you. I will take that money. And then the only other loss that I had was Nebraska minus 11.5. Which, by the way, I did not think that was a smart play at all, but I had to write it.
But we won.
We did win, but we didn't cover the fucking spread. I could have been. Oh, that's irritating. Nate, you had plus 8.5 Tennessee. That was a loss. Washington State
looked good for a while.
It did. It did look good for a while. Washington State plus 20. Great bit right there. Oregon wasn't able to cover that spread. Ole Miss minus 6.5. Another dub. And then UNC minus 23.5. Jokingly, remember when I said that Virginia was a good team?
Yeah, I know, right? When I didn't even watch the game, and I had the damn thing pop up saying Virginia stuns North Carolina. I was like, fuck. I was like, God damn it.
And then you also had Nebraska minus 11.5. So you were 2-2, so that's not bad. Brad had first half under 23 in the Penn State Ohio State game. That hit minus 8.5. Bama, Utah plus 7 win. Arizona State plus 27.5. That game with Washington. What in the world happened there?
It's just one wild. Of them. It's like what they call it.
Game.
Yeah, it's a trap game after a huge game and everything, and they walk in Arizona State. I mean, it happens. Happens to the best teams. So.
Yeah, they were playing at home, so I thought they would have a little bit more of an edge. And I mean, his only loss of the day was Oregon first half minus 10.5. So you made it even. 4-2. Yeah, 4-2 because I put Nebraska on my card as an extra game. 4-2, I'll take it. Brad leading us out with 4-1. So. College-wise, we were feeling pretty good. Feeling really good.
500, it's like kissing your stepsister, but you know what? That doesn't count in my book.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Isn't that what Bad News Bears guy said?
Yeah, probably.
He's like, ties are like kissing your stepsister. It doesn't really count. But for how bad you guys are.
Jesus Christ. Funny. All right. Let's get into the weekend that was in college football. Penn State doesn't show up for the biggest moment against Ohio State. Name of the game is field position and not being able to execute. They weren't able to put Drew Aller in good positions, and it cost them. Kyle McCord had a hell of a game. I'm still not backing off of I'm not a believer of Kyle McCord just yet. I think they have to play a couple more games. I think that Michigan game is going to be the one that really makes or breaks who Kyle McCord is. And that's just the way it's going to have to be. I mean, Penn State wasn't, it was a dogfight for the first half. Like,
it was
a straight knockout, drag out fight.
If it showed me anything, it showed me that Ohio State is not top dog in the national rankings. And it showed that Penn State's not a top dog. They're both respectable teams. I'm a firm hater on James Franklin, although I respect the guy. I just don't think he's that great of a coach that people give him all this like praise and flowers to. I mean, he's 1-16 against ranked teams. Not very good.
No, I agree.
So I just, it's just he's got to prove. Until then, he's got to prove me wrong on. He can win a big one, He's done it before. He beat Ohio State once, go to the Big Ten championship, but it's just I don't know. It's one of them games that you expected so much hype. It wasn't there. It was really kind of a dud of a game. I remember texting you that morning. I was like, these games fucking suck, dude.
Yeah, they weren't very good. The day did get better. Penn State just wasn't able to get any offense going. I mean, and truly the only reason why that Ohio State really got the way they was able to score or even move the ball down the field is Marvin Harrison Jr. 11 catches, 162 yards, touchdown. He is one of the top 2 wide receivers behind Luther at Missouri. That kid phenomenal.
I think Luther is damn good. I think he's probably top 3 for sure. I think NFL caliber ready. I would go with Marvin Harrison, but Luther's having a hell of a year. I'm not taking anything away from him. He is probably the hottest wide receiver in the college football. He might win that award. Was it the Blinkoff award?
The Blitnikoff. Yep.
I think he's probably going to win that award. Hopefully he can continue having this awesome year. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. Penn State's got to show up for a game. Do they show up against Michigan in the next couple of weeks? They have another test.
They're going to have to.
That, and I believe they have them at home, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I believe Penn State has Michigan at home. If that's,
I kind of hope it's a night game then. I don't know if it is or
no,
isn't.
It's not. It's 11. It's an 11 o'clock kick, dude. God. I hate that shit.
Oh, I want to see that
sucks, man.
at night.
Fox sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, you get all these
literally the
games.
worst. It's so stupid. It's garbage, actually. I actually have a really hot take, and I don't like Big Noon Kickoff. I think it's a bullshit way to do it. Oh, you think you get the best game, and then you're sitting at the night game where you could be competing with NBC and like honestly, they should make Big Noon Kickoff and then put it at like the 6:30 slot or 7:30 throw on the East Coast. Like it's whatever. I just think a lot of these games deserve to be at night, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Fox doesn't want to. Fox wants to take over that 11 o'clock kick. Fine, whatever. Screw you. Yeah. Next big game, Tennessee gets cute in the first half, but Bama finishes the game with a big win. Bama back?
I wouldn't say Bama's back quite yet because I still don't think they could beat some of the top teams with their skill set right now. They're good. They're someone you can't fuck with for sure. They're going to get you. But I feel like the beginning of the season, Bama, let's call it that, showed up in the first half where nothing was going right, miscues, overthrown passes, potential turnovers that ended up, they got it back and everything. But the second half, they dialed it in, and I don't think Tennessee scored in the second half, did they? I thought it was 20-7, and they lost 38-20.
No, they didn't score in the second half.
So props to Bama's
Alabama shut them out.
So yeah, I don't think Bama's back quite yet. I'm not going to give them that, but you got to give them props right here. They're one loss. Nick Saban hasn't played. They're going to sit there and wait for that playoff spot, and you watch them, they might just jump right in there.
They might. And this Tennessee team isn't the same team without Hendon Hooker and Hyatt. You kind of see the cracks in that offense. Milton's very inconsistent. He's been inconsistent all year. He's been up and down, whether he can hit passes, whether he can run the offense correctly. And the thing with Hendon Hooker last year is that he was just so automatic. You know what I mean? And that was something that they missed, and you could clearly see that. They didn't really have a run game. Bama came out and punched them in the face, and they just couldn't respond in the second half. And I think Bama is more back than they were at the beginning of the season. Struggle if they were to play.
They're
if they were to play
USF,
if they were to play USF now, they'd blow them out 50-0.
Yeah, that'd be part of Lucas's picks.
They'd be for my fuck off, dude. The only one. Hey, by the way, there's no Iowa game, so I can't go the under on them this week. Actually, I could, and I'd still probably win. Jumping to, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Speaking of that Iowa game, okay, Minnesota wins against Iowa on a controversial call. PJ Fleck gets his first win against Iowa. Did he call fair catch? Did he? From what the rules state, it was a involuntary fair catch, which makes it a dead ball that can't be advanced.
Yep, right, and that's exactly what the rules say.
Which is what exactly happened.
Exactly, And I feel like, no, he didn't call a fair catch, but he is pointing and probably yelling, Peter or poison or whatever the like their motto is there. But he, with that other arm, he's got it like right shoulder length. And if a ref is just watching, they're probably going to be like, oh, yep, that's a fair catch. I mean, I don't think the refs got it wrong there. I think the refs got it right. And I'm trying not to be as biased as much as I hate Iowa. I really think like if Minnesota was in that situation, I think that's still a dead ball. Like you said, that's what the rules say. So
no, that's what the rules
say. You want to yell, you want to like just yell and criticize on that certain play, saying, "Oh, that's a blown call," blah blah blah. You guys had 2 yards in the second half, total offense.
Yeah,
2 fucking yards. Like, get out of here. Like, you could have won it easily if you gained like 20 more yards. Come on.
Yeah. So we retweeted a tweet of an Iowa fan talking about maybe it's time to move on. I never thought I would ever hear that from an Iowa fan, just because not a lot of their fans are like that passionate.
Right.
Like they're passionate. Don't get me wrong. Like I know some Iowa fans that are passionate, but like to actually hear them say, I think it's time to move on from Ferentz. Well, I think very, very telling.
Right. I think they're starting to see how offense is winning a lot of people games and everything, and nothing's changing there.
No.
The last year they struggled on offense. The year before you could see them struggling on offense, but yet they still had some talent there they could lean on. The talented tight ends they had and everything. Last year was abysmal for the offense, and this year's even worse. You wouldn't think it getting worse. All you had to do was focus on a couple players to get there that make big plays and everything. They didn't do anything. Their defense is you want to say how USC's defense is ruining such a great offense and everything. Just as an example, dude, Iowa's offense is ruining a great fucking defense. Like, oh my God. Like, this is unbelievable, like, how great their defense is and how horrible their offense is. So I agree with the guy. I think Ferentz's time is up there. I think he needs to retire, or Iowa needs to go a different way, or they're going to get left behind.
My thing is that who wants to go coach at Iowa?
I don't know.
Who are they going to get? And I think that's why Ferentz has them underneath his thumb, because he knows that if he knows he'll get his way, because there's nobody else that'll want to come coach at Iowa.
Yeah. It'd have to be a young, hot coach.
It'd have to be
like maybe Tulane or something,
Yeah.
But
agreed.
that guy's not even young. He's a good coach, but I don't know.
Everybody shits on Nebraska for having like everybody says, oh, Nebraska's not a landing destination. Let me tell you, Lincoln's a lot better destination than fucking Iowa City.
Iowa City, yeah. It's not even about a landing destination for Lincoln, it's about the tradition and the like support you'll get at Lincoln. But at Iowa, it's just like, when Iowa was kind of like, I remember when NCAA started coming out for college football. I think it was like 2012 or 13. No, it would have been 2010, and Iowa was ranked number 2.
Well, they were coming out with it. Well, yeah, they were.
When I started playing it, I should say. When I started playing it.
Yeah.
I think they were like number 2, and they were fun to play with Ricky Stanzi and everything, but that was with a young Ferentz, and they had a great offense. Well, I think they still had the same offense, but now everyone's adapted and overcome that offense is not getting it done anymore, and they've done it to themselves by not recruiting better talent at the quarterback position. They recruit the shit out of the tight end position. Their tight end coach is awesome, but wide receiver position, they're non-existent there. Iowa has the capability of building players. They just got to get the players.
And losing Cade McNamara obviously doesn't help with the whole scoring points and whatnot.
Right.
But you got to be able to overcome those types of things. And I mean, and honestly, us as Husker fans probably shouldn't be talking about offense, to be honest.
Not right now. No. We're good, though.
No. We're not much better than Iowa statistically.
Not really.
Not really. Staying in the Big Ten, and this might be a little bit of a lengthy conversation. So everybody strap in. Michigan kicks the hell out of Michigan State. It has come out that one of the staffers, not even a staffer, had been scouting over the last 2 years, had bought 11 tickets on both sides of each opposing opponent's sideline, like seats behind the sideline in the Big Ten, and also for many out-of-conference teams.
Well, they just came out today that it's 4 college playoff contenders from last year that he also bought tickets to.
And here's the thing, right? Before, I was like, it really doesn't matter. You still, like, I get the sentiment. You still have to show up and win, right? I want to know where they're getting the money for it. Is he paying it out of his own pocket? Is he using university money? If he's using university money, it's going to be a real big deal.
Absolutely.
And people aren't going to be very happy about that.
It came out his job was only paying $55,000 a year.
There's no way you can get with tickets like that to like get no fucking way.
It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm with you. You still got to go out there and execute, even if I hate to bring them up, but even like Dion said, I'll send you my whole playbook and everything, and you still got to execute to stop it, But it's just
it sucks
what happens,
Yeah, it sucks for the guys that are on the team because I genuinely think that they, even without sign stealing, could still put up 45 points a game.
Absolutely.
Humming. That defense is also playing really well. Like, it's just a shame because it's like, and if Harbaugh knew it, I think that's a fireable offense. That's a fireable offense, and I think that's it's not death penalty worthy. It's not death penalty worthy.
No, but I think Harbaugh's done after this year anyway.
I think so too. I think
I wouldn't
so too. My other thing is they win the East. I think they get banned from the national from a bowl, college football, and the Big Ten championship, which will move to the loser of the game, or if Penn State manages to get in there. And I think
I don't think that happens this year. I don't think it does either. Slow the NCAA does investigating stuff. It won't happen this year, probably not next year. It's just like, oh my God. And then like everyone will forget about it, and the NCAA will drop a bomb and just literally just be like, oh yeah, Michigan, you're Jim Harbaugh's suspended for 8 games. Michigan, you got to vacate these wins, which puts Nebraska at 5-2.
What if they win? What, dude? Listen to this though. What if they win a national title this year?
I don't know.
My God! And has that ever happened? Nobody's ever had to vacate a national championship, right?
Right. I don't think so.
SMU didn't win a national championship when they got the death penalty, did they? And Miami didn't get, when they almost got the death penalty, they didn't have to vacate any national championships.
Right.
I don't think. No. So
right.
I mean,
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what it plays out. I don't know much about it quite. Like, yeah, we know like there was sign stealing and everything. Like Rule said in his press conference, there's sign stealing every fucking day and every game.
By the way, they should be doing the mics in the helmet.
I agree 100% too. Like, why not?
I've been saying this for years. Why are college coaches, or why is the college game refusing to get quarterbacks ready or get guys ready for that type of play calling? It puts you ahead of the curve if you already know what they're going to be calling. It gets you used to the headset. I mean, not the headset, but the it in there. I just think it progresses you
timing,
to the NFL so much
because it has
easier.
timing. Yep, it'll have timing where you got until like 15 seconds on the play clock, and then it'll cut out. So it'll, like he was saying, it's going to mature. It would mature a lot more players and quarterbacks and get them prepared for the NFL. So I'm ready. It's nice having a coach it's nice having a coach on our side that's literally up for change and different kind of stuff.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I agree. It's like a breath of fresh air that Nebraska's not in the bullshit fucking drama fest right now. we got a coach that literally says and does the right thing.
No
and
shit.
tells how he doesn't lie to the fucking press. He's like, you know what? We've
Which is
struggled in
nice.
this area. We got to, yeah, it's awesome. So
Yeah. I feel like the whole staff is pretty honest.
100%. It leaves the fans not guessing, like with Frost, we were guessing every day. So.
Yeah, it's
And
absolutely
he comes
wild,
out with
but
an injury report and shit like that. And instead of
we'll
like
talk about
letting
that in a bit.
just simmer. I'm like, oh,
yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
bullet to the heart.
Side of the Big Ten, Virginia upsets North Carolina. Holy shit.
It's unbelievable.
That was
good
wild.
for that. I didn't watch it at all.
So fucking crazy, dude. They scored 14.
I didn't watch it at all, but it was awesome. Like, I love that's what people watch college football for. So
yeah, I mean, fucking Drake May had threw for 347, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Like, he threw for over almost 350 yards. Like, that kid is amazing. Even in a loss, Virginia scored 14 in the first quarter, didn't score in the second, but then was able to figure it out. Scored 10 and 7 in the third and fourth quarter, and that's just the name of the game, man. And it's a hungry dog runs faster. That's literally what the situation was. And I'm glad that Virginia won a second game. I know we've been, and that's where I'm at with like Virginia and like teams that are struggling. Like, I, as a fan base, I understand that. I know that a little too well. And it's just, I'm just happy when teams that aren't being that aren't having some success find a way to win. And it's just refreshing. And now to my other soapbox, Utah beats the brakes. Not just beats the brakes. They didn't beat the brakes off of them, but they played pretty well. Utah did exactly what we thought they would. USC is now 0-3 against Utah in the calendar year. Again, like, the defense played okay in that second quarter. They've improved every single week, but literally all you have to do. I mean, Utah's defense, they didn't give up a passing touchdown. Caleb Williams had 1 rushing touchdown. He didn't throw any touchdowns at all.
Are you getting worried as a college football fan that Caleb Williams maybe wasn't all that great? What do you think?
I'm saying
maybe a little overhyped.
As the podcast USC hater, I think that I'll go ahead and say, fuck it, whatever. They're frauds. They're absolute frauds.
Yeah, but what about like Caleb Williams, Steve? Is he?
I think that you're starting to figure out, like, especially from Utah, Colorado was able to kind of do it to him too, but he was able to overcome that. And I mean, Notre Dame, like, if you can get him flustered, crumbles easily. And this has got nothing to do, like, I'm hearing, obviously we're all hearing rumors that like people are telling him to sit out. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. You are committed to playing the game for the team. If you are a team player, you will ride this out and try to win every game that you can.
Yep. That's ridiculous.
I hope he does. My thing is that his draft stock, I mean, it's still going to be high. He's still going to be a first round pick. Is he worthy of the number 1 pick this year? Maybe. We'll just have to see how he stacks up against everybody else at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like I've said, the last 3 weeks, their defense did pretty good this game. I will give them a little bit of credit, but they still were not able to stop the run. They got
and you got to give it to Utah. That's their bread and butter.
Great.
That's their bread and butter.
Utah played great. It was amazing. What are they on, their second backup or is this the backup? I can't remember.
This was the original backup, and then they played a couple of games with another guy, and they were back to this guy, and he played great.
Dude, 14 for 20.
He's gonna have to
continue.
Yeah, he's gonna have to continue to play good and at a high level because Kyle Whittingham said that Cam Rising's not coming back this season. So,
he's not.
No, he's not coming back the rest of the year. That's what Kyle Whittingham said right after the game. He said he's done for the year. And they're going to try to get a medical red shirt if possible. I'm not sure what they got going there, but
hey, man,
that's a possibility. That'd be a 7th year.
Hasn't been unheard of. Fucking
doctors.
Tanner Morgan Tanner Morgan was here for 18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got
235, 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Pretty good day.
I have a little stat for you, Luke.
Yeah.
What does Nick Saban and Lincoln Riley have in common?
No, they've both been to the college football playoff.
They have never beaten Kyle Whittingham at Utah.
Wait, was he the coach? No, because Urban Meyer was the coach at Utah, right?
Utah. And then Kyle Whittingham was. And
was Kyle Whittingham on that staff?
He was DC under Urban.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Kyle Whittingham is a pupil of Urban Meyer. You think of a guy that literally has stuck it out at the same he's like the leading, him or Kirk Ferentz they've been at one school the longest.
I think it's Kirk Ferentz.
I can't remember which one is which.
He's been there for 25
both
years.
Both of them are like right there. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's been forever.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Dude. And I mean, again, the running attack, they rushed for 247 yards. You know?
Yep.
And
the thing about Utah is they keep it, their jerseys are fancy as shit, and they keep it simple, and they run the fucking ball.
Yeah,
you just gotta love Utah football.
Dude, and honestly, okay, great segue. That's exactly how I want the Huskers to play.
Absolutely.
Like, you watch Utah, that's exactly how I want the Huskers to play. Have
just a great defense and a freaking just a solid offense. That is perfect.
Yes, run the ball, be able to do play action, right? So Huskers beat Northwestern. First half looked rough on offense. Looked absolutely
rough. Yep.
Looked real rough.
I would say looked rusty coming out of a bye week. You know, I hate it when teams
I was hoping that.
Just like,
and I don't like the fact that it was just the first play. What are we doing? Fedoni is open on that play. Harburg's just gotta lead him. You just gotta get him that ball. And
you know, Harbaugh he's not the perfect quarterback. You know,
he's not.
Pass like you got to make simple passes for him, and he's trying to thread that needle there. And it sailed on him. And you know, I'm a firm believer if it hits someone in the fucking hands, they got to catch it. You know, that's not a pick. That's not a pick if Fedoni doesn't tip it. I do understand. You got to realize that. Like if that ball just went behind him, it would have dropped. But he tipped it, which is straight up in the air, and then you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is an interception." Sucks.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Thank God we overcame him. Thank God we overcame him. It took a bit.
I will say that. But I will say this: if the defense wasn't where we are, wouldn't be in the position where we are.
Nope,
dude. And let me tell you that's
off,
dude. Leonard and Prince. Holy shit, those guys are gonna be. Dude, I think they might be the next Randy Gregory, Malik Collins. Remember them on that defensive line?
Loaded.
That's insane. Mm-hmm. And Nash had a great game. Like,
Nash is getting a lot of recognition right now. He is. Yeah. He dominated that game. Nash dominated.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Rule said, and Rule knows more than I do by far. But I'm just saying, Rule said, Ty Robinson had a great game. Well, I think it's because Nash had a fucking hell of a game, and he was taking on blocks that shouldn't have been taken on. Left Ty Robinson. I mean, we had 8 fucking sacks that game. It's just, that was awesome. That was good to see our defense just start eating. And I really believe it's because we have Reimer back even, he gets everything put back together. He's the general out there.
Yeah. I mean, defense really showed up. Isaac Gifford made a huge play on that screen because he lets that guy block him. That guy's gone for a touchdown.
Yep.
And it's just those plays that I feel like last year we wouldn't have been able to make.
Yep.
And now that we have that confidence and we're able to make those plays, like, I feel so much more confident.
Yeah.
Just want
when something bad happens on offense last year, we're like, fuck. Like, they're gonna score.
I mean,
this year you're like, yeah, dude, like, we're fine. We are fine. Our defense will get the ball back. Okay. At most we give up 3 points. We only gave up 9, against Northwestern. So it's just that confidence I have in the defense is so enjoying and letting. I think that's why kind of like our offense does some goofy shit because our defense is so good and we know we can rely on him if
Yeah,
we
but
have
like,
to go 3 and out, you know? And I
my
think that's
problem
what
is
Satterfield looks at.
my problem is that that's only gonna get you so far.
It's only gonna get
'Cause
you so
that
far, but it's
that
just until our offense builds, you know?
yeah, I think they just need to fucking not put Heinrich in terrible positions, and I feel like
Yeah.
like
The
like
play
like we
calling's
were
gotta be
saying,
better.
I think they just need to simplify things for him for a little
Absolutely,
while. I mean,
absolutely. Look at crossing
we still
routes,
have
look at
to
out route,
we
like
still have to remember that he is a sophomore. He's a
absolutely.
redshirt sophomore.
Mhm.
And he's not Jeff Sims. He hasn't played a lot of Power 5
Nope.
conference ball. And like we just have to and to be honest, we didn't think that Harburg was going to start at the beginning of the year. None of us did.
Right.
We are
Mhm.
where we're at, and we just gotta work on it. We gotta work on it. And I feel like Jeff is doing a great job on the sidelines when he's seeing stuff. And I think he's
Yeah.
being a great teammate, which I feel like a lot of guys would bitch and moan. It doesn't seem like that with Jeff. It
No,
seems
it
like
seems like he's a
he's a
leader.
team guy. He's a team
Yeah, it
guy.
seems like he's a leader, leading by example and everything. He just, it's unfortunate what happens to him, and I'm a firm believer, like you are, like a lot of people are. You don't lose your spot from injury. It's just, I think there was a QB
You got
competition
the
in the season.
hot hand.
I mean, Nick Heinrich. I almost called him Nick. I think Harbaugh is just, he's 4-1. How can you not go with him?
No, yeah. Yeah.
These people, like people on Twitter, are saying maybe do you go to Nick or go to Jeff Sims in this position of the year? Why change something that's not broke right now? You have another
Yeah.
game where he could build on that will be a better defense than what we just played last week.
Yeah.
And just because their head coach, that's what he hangs his hat on, is defense. I mean, he came from Illinois. Illinois' defense was unbelievable last year. So I think this is a well-building game for Heinrich in this game. So, or Heinrich in this game, whatever you want to call his name.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get the warm and fuzzies, but that's not
It was
really
an ugly
his
game.
fault. It was an ugly game, and we're gonna have to win ugly games. I would rather win ugly games than lose pretty. And
Absolutely.
And my thing is like, I just want people to be real with themselves when they're comparing like the two quarterbacks. Like Heinrich has made just as many mistakes in his starts than Jeff did at his time at one point this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's getting missed. And I don't feel like, I feel like if there wasn't a quarterback competition right now, I feel like Sims would probably beat him out.
But I think there
just
was
because
last
of
week.
what
I think there was
we
last
don't know
week,
that.
though. But like they
we don't
came
know
out,
that.
like for the first time in all year, they came out and said Heinrich is going to be our starter. He's our starting quarterback. So that just tells me they did have a competition. Heinrich beat him out. You know, so be it. Like, it is what it is, dude. Enough with like, oh, Jeff Sims needs to be in there. We'd be better. Would we? Like, you can't tell me that he played better competition now that the year has gone on. Minnesota's terrible. Fucking Colorado's horrible on defense, and he struggled against both. You know, Heinrich played the number one, probably the top 5 defense. Granted, we fucking sucked and we got blown out, but he has that experience now against a top dog. You know, he's played against Illinois and beat them, which is no slouch of a defense themselves. Northwestern's decent at defense, not the fucking best, but in the Big Ten, they're probably not last. You know, I feel like Heinrich has had. Yeah, I feel like Heinrich has had better competition to go up against, and he's found ways to win. You know,
and I think
he's not in crucial times in the game. We're not used to this, me and you, Luke. And crucial times in the game, Nebraska has always faltered and broke, you know, or fumbled the ball, or like thrown an interception. With Heinrich, in crucial times in the game, where okay, this is where Nebraska needs to punch it in here. We have. You know, he has turnovers. What quarterback doesn't? I just like where Heinrich is right now compared to our competition we have left. 20 points will win us every game. You know, like it honestly will, because the rest of our competition is not very good.
It's getting the 20 points that it seems to be the issue.
Well, thank God we have 4 quarters to get there because our first half was not good ever.
No, I just and I mean with obviously the injury bug, like most of our offensive line is out. Ben Scott is back, thank God. I was really that was the one that really worried me because I think is our best offensive lineman, especially at center. He's a smart kid. He can make all the calls. So I mean, but then again,
he's our leader.
Next
he's
guy
our
up.
there. Yep.
Next guy up, Jacob Hood. Get in there, play. You played at Georgia. Like we need to see some of these guys that are backups really get into the nitty gritty in their play. And I'm excited. I'm excited for these and to see how the young guys are working on defense. Like maybe we can get some opportunities on offense where we can see some of that. They have that chance against Purdue this week.
Yeah, I think what Matt Rule said, like our young guys are enjoying the opportunity of maybe starting on the offensive line and everything, and they're really battling this week. I'm excited. Like, yeah, it sucks that our starting offensive line, half of it's hurt, that sucks. But I'm thinking right now, man, we have some gritty kids, the way our young defense has shown up and proved themselves that, hey, they're here to fuck shit up. Maybe we have some dogs on the offensive line that are ready to show that. So I'm excited. I mean, this is a great game and a great setup for them to prove that.
And I mean, they had a player come in. They had a backup come in, played guard for when
Jenkins
Corcoran was out, and then they moved it. Yeah, and then they moved him to center, and he played center for Ben Scott. And I was like, damn, that's a Swiss Army knife if I've ever seen one. So we'll see how the week goes. I feel like Purdue's going to give them a little bit more of a game than North. I mean, everybody on the schedule is going to give us their best game, and we're going to give them their best game. And that's just how it's just going 1-0, just going 1-0 on the week. And then move on, and then next, just putting games together.
Them offensive linemen, them young kids have the same amount of reps in practice as the starters did. And all you got to do is tell them, hey, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't false start. Don't hold. Block the guy in front of you. Do your assignment. And it's that easy. It's that easy. These guys know how to do it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see them. Because it's not only going to show, like, it's going to show what we have in our closet for next year and the year after that.
No, agreed.
We have some young kids that I think are battlers and want to like fight. So
no, I agreed. I don't like getting ahead of myself. I don't like getting ahead of myself. I mean, the West is right there for the taking.
Yeah, the West.
It's right. It's right there. But one game at a time.
Yep.
One game at a time.
Hey. We hold the gun.
We're not going to worry about a Big Ten championship.
In the West.
Yeah, we do. We do. We don't need. We just need to go one game at a time. One game at a time. Get 5.
I feel like that's another thing that Rule is doing good at is like he's telling his kids just
keeping
focus
them
on
focused
this week.
on one game at a time.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I think we have the right guy. We just got to build.
I think so too.
Excel this. This year we win 6 wins. Fuck it. We're going bowling, man. 15 extra practices.
And we haven't
next year we build on
we haven't
that.
We haven't had that in a while.
I don't even care if we play in Hawaii Bowl.
Time to get into the NFL. Jags beat the Saints. They were playing pretty well. ETN is really their whole offense right now, which I don't know could be a worrisome spot if Lawrence can't get going and score some touchdowns on the air. But whatever happens. Your defense is scrappy. What is your thoughts on the win there, Nate?
It was a great win to go into the Saints and beat them on their home turf. I was really feeling good about it until the Saints started coming back. But you kind of expected the Saints to come back because, the Jags are a good team. All right, they're a good team. But they got to figure out how to just continue to score. And I think our offensive coordinator is learning. I think Trevor Lawrence is learning. And I'm going to give it up to the Saints defense. The Saints defense is their best part of their whole team. And,
Agreed.
we were cooking for a while, and they started to stop us and figure it out. And like you said, ETN still kept on a rolling. We got to find ways to get Calvin Ridley the ball more.
Yeah,
we always have that safety valve with Evan Ingram. I think the Jags will be just fine. We go into Pittsburgh this week. I'm liking our chances. Let's go.
Are they a sleeper in the AFC?
I don't know if they're a sleeper. I think they're a contender. I really do think they're a contender.
I that's a team that I would not want to see. And
No.
in one of the rankings, they were the third. They were ranked behind only the Chiefs and the Eagles, sitting at the number
That's the
3
thing.
spot.
That's the thing.
So
The
you gotta
Jags
you
could
gotta
be
like where you're
playing
at.
with home field. Yeah, the Jags could be playing with home field because they're how weak their division and how brittle their division is
Yeah,
now. Like the
agreed.
Colts, I mean, we just beat them twice, so we're done with them. We got to get one back on Houston. Houston has a young quarterback, so I think we can do that because we lost one earlier to them. And the Titans,
Yeah.
it sounds like Will Levis is going to be the starter now. The Titans are kind of just abysmal team. They traded their all-pro safety to the Eagles if the Eagles ever fucking
Yeah,
needed him.
dude.
God.
My God.
So,
Yeah, that's some shit.
yeah, Jags are playing with home field in the playoffs for one or maybe 2 games. We'll see what happens. So, are they on the Chiefs? If you want me to answer the question, are they on the Chiefs level yet? Absolutely not. But we're
No.
getting there. So,
No, you are. You are.
so
Speaking of the Chiefs, Chiefs beat the Chargers by 2 touchdowns. The Chargers were able to keep it relatively close. Sort of.
that's a typical
third quarter.
Chargers Chiefs game.
It is. It is. But
It was a
like
battle.
Mahomes threw for 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Kelsey had 12 receptions, 179 yards, and a touchdown. Dude, they got Charles back. I think Mecole Hardman makes a difference, especially in the return game. This week they had the number 5 and the number, can't remember what it was, but it was a stat where the Chiefs had a top 5 offense and top 5 defense, and every single team that has had that has won the Super Bowl. And their defense is looking fucking great, dude. It's a top 5. It's like I say every fucking week. It's like the Huskers have a great defense, so do the Chiefs. And like we couldn't figure it out on offense for a while. Maybe the Huskers figure it out after this week, but who knows? But
Maybe.
Mahomes throwing 424 yards, dude. Like there's a lot of good vibes right now. A lot of good vibes. We've got the Broncos this week. I think we'll probably beat the tails off of them, most likely.
Yeah.
And then we got the Germany game. The Dolphins. We'll see if they're able to show up for a game that means something or not. Who knows? It's going to be a good test. I like where the Chiefs are right now. Could they win all of my bets this season? I sure fucking hope so. Got a lot of money on them. They haven't failed me they didn't fail me last year, so hey, we'll fucking ride with them. But no, I think the best part about it is that Charles, I don't remember I can't ever pronounce his last name. Missed 6 games, and he was a game wrecker. Like one of the first plays that he was in, he got a sack, and I think that gives that defense a lot of time. They're gonna lose Nick Bolton for a while. Dislocated wrist. That'll be interesting to see if Chanel can kind of step up, if Willie Gay can make the plays. I'm feeling pretty good about our chances.
I still got to say, yeah, Chris Jones is probably your best defensive player, on that team. But Trent McDuffie's a baller. He makes shit happen. He has a nose for that football. I love watching him. He almost reminds me of like
Marcus Peters.
I'm not even. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
They both went to Washington.
He just hits hard, and he always has a good pass breakup that is like a huge moment of the game. So I don't know. I like watching the kid.
I think that back half has grown a lot since last year. I mean, they were obviously, I always bring it up, they were the youngest secondary in the league. And they win the Super Bowl, which is crazy. So I mean,
my last thing about the Chiefs is just a hot take. Like you got to have Mahomes as your leading MVP candidate because, like you said, he's almost throwing for 400 yards with nobody on wide receivers to throw to. His wide receivers are booty cheeks.
Rashid Rice.
He's starting to come back, but like literally, they have no name wide receivers. It looks like the goddamn Pittsburgh
young guys
Steelers out there. Like it's just like, come on.
Yeah. It's a lot of young guys.
How do you guys not have a number 1 wide receiver? And then you think, oh, yeah, their number 1 person they go to is a tight end. So,
But
I just think, like, I think right now Mahomes has to be the leading candidate for the MVP until spoken about
proven otherwise.
So,
yeah. I can't argue with that one, buddy. I think.
I mean, like at the
I think
beginning
right
of the
now
season,
he's playing well.
yeah, at the beginning of the season, it was clear cut
Very
Christian
much, yeah.
McCaffrey, but Christian McCaffrey has struggled and has not had the same amount of
And injuries.
And injuries, So I think you got to give it to Mahomes as of now. If there was a middle of the year to MVP, so we'll just go with that.
I agree. Next game. Wow, were we wrong about the Patriots? I don't know
tired.
whether to be.
Here's my hot take, Luke. Here's my hot take.
What?
Not hot take. Here's my pedestal. Okay, let me get on your pedestal real fast. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am fucking tired of watching the Patriots or the Bills. I'm tired of watching them on TV. They are fucking terrible. Okay. I think I've watched one good game by the Bills. One. And oh yeah, I was playing a person in fantasy that had fucking Stephon Diggs. One good game the Bills have produced. Everything else, they are fucking booty cheeks. I am exhausted of watching them. Sean McDermott needs to be fired at the end of the year because he has so much talent on that team, and that fucking team sucks. I'm tired of watching. There's no excuse for them to be 4-3 right now or 3-3, whatever the record is. They should be at least one loss or fucking undefeated with that talent on their fucking roster.
Yeah, they're 4-3.
And the Patriots, they suck. Mac Jones is fucking horrible.
Terrible.
Bill Belichick, tired of watching your grumpy ass on that sideline. Put someone else on. I'm done watching this shit. And don't fucking change. Oh, okay. We won't put Patriots on. We'll put the Raiders on or the Giants or the Jets. I'm like, oh my God. NFL, there's 30 more teams out there. Go put someone else on TV. Fuck, I'll watch the Bears before I'll watch the fucking Patriots. At least they have somewhat of an offense right now. God,
with the backup QB, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Yeah, Belichick gets his 300th win, and are the Bills and the Chargers kind of in the same kind of spot with their head coaches?
Yeah,
have great.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just said it. I mean, you just said it. You just said it. Have great talent. Have great talent on both sides of the ball.
I feel like McDermott is a fucking little prick. I do not like him. Okay, yeah. I feel like Staley. I don't want to feel sorry for him because he has a fucking reins of a goddamn great offense, a great QB, and an unbelievable running back that is just as good as CMC. Yeah. God damn, dude. Win a fucking game. Agreed. Your defense sucks, and it has so much talent on it. How does it suck?
No, I agree.
So, yes, the Chargers are in the same goddamn boat because there's no excuse for the record right now. None.
No, yeah. Justin Herbert, I like the same way we kind of talk about Caleb Williams. I feel like they're wasting Justin Herbert's potential. And I mean, he just signed a big deal. And I mean, if Brandon Staley gets fired, I think Kellen Moore should be the next head coach.
Yeah.
Put
I think it was Avery
offensive-minded
Anthony Johnson or something. Anthony something, their old head coach, the black guy. I loved him. He was on Hard Knocks when they went to LA Rams and Chargers. They fucking did that guy dirty. They did him dirty. And I thought he was a great head coach, but no, what do I know? I'm not fucking anyone. So, but at least that guy won 10 games when he was a head coach. God.
Well, and like the big reason why I say that you should maybe I don't know anything either, but it seems to me a lot of these offensive-minded coaches, the ones that are making it to the Super Bowl.
I agree. Yeah. Yep. 100%.
I'm sorry, but if you have a great offense with a top 5 wide receiver, top 5 quarterback, top 5 running back, and you have some pieces, it makes zero sense to me why you wouldn't try to at least get an offensive-minded head coach. And I think Kellen Moore might be that guy.
You're not going to like what I say, but if I was the Chargers, I'd interview Kellen Moore, but I'd go get fucking Bieniemy. What more does Bieniemy need? He'd have in all honesty, the Chargers have a better team than the Chiefs did when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, just because they have more weapons at the Chargers. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Bieniemy would just light that place on fireworks every fucking Sunday or Monday.
Yeah. I don't hate that. I don't think he'll. If anything,
he's the next Washington.
He's
coach,
the next
100%.
Washington head coach. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, agreed.
I wish he wasn't, because Washington's never on fucking TV. And what a great segue.
Agreed.
Let's get there.
Yeah. So
Wow.
the Bears get a much needed win with a backup quarterback who was a Division II quarterback, by the way. What's the score?
3-2 Arizona.
Oh, wow. Just
Bottom of the
hit a
fifth.
dong shot.
Just played short ball.
Short ball.
Or small ball, sorry. I'm not a baseball guy.
No, small ball. Small ball, short ball,
small
yeah,
ball.
same thing. Do the Bears ride this out? I mean, Justin Fields isn't going to be healthy for the next couple of weeks. I mean,
write it out, dude. See what this kid can do.
I mean,
I loved his dad's promo. That was awesome.
Dude, his dad is a professional arm wrestler.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love that. Nah, man, it just goes to show you. You don't need to go to a D1 college to play in the NFL.
Nope. Just stick.
A lot of Hall of Famers didn't go to the a lot of Hall of Famers didn't go to D1 schools. Happy for him. Bears have a long way to go.
D1, but
yeah. Well,
Southern Miss, man.
Southern Miss. To the Sunday night game, Dolphins lose again to another good team in the Eagles. Granted, the Eagles did not look good, and Jalen Hurts was wearing a brace coming out in the second half. Do we think he is completely healthy? What does this do to the Eagles moving forward? I mean, they've got 3 more weeks until the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
They've got. I want to look at their schedule real quick. Kind of give your thoughts on this game real quick, Nate.
I think the Eagles look pretty good on defense. I thought their defense came to play that game. They needed to answer what Miami has on offense. I enjoyed watching this game because,
dude, the Kelly Green wasn't fucking sexy, dude.
Oh, they were great. They're great. Although it wasn't offensive fireworks, but Philly just beat them by strictly playing better defense than Miami did on offense. They got into his face. They didn't. I mean, Tyreek Hill. They didn't let him kill him. He had a good game.
He got his. He definitely got his for sure.
Yeah, they did. How do I want to say this? They didn't let the run game. Yeah, they didn't let the run game of Miami kill them either. You know how well they've done out of the backfield and running the ball and everything with Mozart and Achin. Achin's out for a couple more games, but Miami has a loaded offense. And I just feel like Philly played pretty damn good ball on the defense side. There's a lot to improve on the offense. Is Jalen Hurts healthy enough? I think he is. I think he's just more precautionary reasons. I think he's a tough as nails kid, but we'll see what he can do. They got to for sure do some more things before bye week. So,
dude, they've got the rest of their schedule at Commanders, Cowboys at home, at Chiefs. They have their bye week after the Cowboys. Bye week at Chiefs Monday night, Bills, 49ers, at Cowboys, at Seahawks, Giants at home, Cardinals at home, and with the Giants. There's that 3-game stretch of Chiefs, Bills, 49ers.
Yep.
That's rough. That's rough. That'll show what they've done in the bye week.
Right.
And we'll see. We'll see how these teams do. I mean, obviously the Chiefs will be coming off of a game against the Dolphins in Germany. So we'll see if that affects them really much. Guten Tagen. But I don't have any faith in the Dolphins. It was the game where you show where you have a finesse team that meets. They're the finesse team versus the physical team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if any defense is going to get in your face, you're for the Dolphins, you're pretty much done. Like literally, all you have to do is keep Tyreek Hill in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's gonna get 100 yards. Like you just have to kind of accept that he's gonna get his yards as long as you don't let him score. That's where it's gonna start getting frustrating for them. And until they beat a good team, what do you do as a Dolphins fan? It's just kind of like you go until you prove it. But like, how many more opportunities are you going to get to beat a good team? Granted, the Bills probably aren't going to be a great team, so maybe that'll be kind of a soft one for the Eagles when they play. But like again, this is the NFL. Like you can't like take a night off, you know? And I mean, looking at the Dolphins schedule, right? Patriots, very winnable game at home. In Germany against the Chiefs will be a tough game. Raiders probably will be a win. At Jets play the same type of physical defense that
Jets
the
play
Chiefs
tough.
have been known to play. the Eagles have played, the Bills have played, Commanders, Titans versus Jets, Cowboys at home, Ravens, and then they end with the Bills. So I mean, they're gonna play a lot of physical teams.
Yeah,
going down the stretch. It's just gonna see can they get one, or are they gonna just lay a fucking egg? So it'll be interesting. And then to the Monday night game, the 49ers lose their second game in a row. First time in about a year and a half, and they are just Kirk Cousins gets surprised. Like, it's weird to see Kirk Cousins be
surprised everyone in that game.
I think the game plan for the Vikings was, hey, we're just gonna try to throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yep.
And and it worked. Like, without JJ, Jordan Addison, like Jordan Addison played his ass off. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for the win. Appreciate that.
Yeah, he had a big game.
Huge.
And that one play where he kind of like, it looked like he stole it from the defender.
Stole the ball.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
It was great. The defense was able to pick off Purdy a couple of times. Purdy, I mean, it really shows that Deebo Samuel is very, very important to that team. They need him.
Yep.
If he's not in the game, it's very blatant that it was tough for them to get points. Takes another weapon away from him. I think moving forward, Vikings have at Packers, at Falcons, Saints at home, at Broncos, Bears, at Raiders, at Bengals, Lions at home, Packers at home, and Lions and away at Lions. They could potentially play their way back into being in the NFC North. So that's what they've got so far. That's what they got in front of them, and I think that it's very, very doable. 49ers have the Bengals at home, at Jags, Bucks at home, at Seahawks, at Eagles, home against Seahawks, at Arizona, versus the Ravens Sunday night at home. Could be a good game. The Ravens are playing really good ball right now.
Yeah, they are.
At Commanders, and then they end with the Rams. So, I mean, out of the two, the 49ers have a tougher schedule coming down the pipe hole. But
100%, they got to fix their situation there because they're not looking.
They got to get healthy.
Their offense is looking like terrible right now. All that talent on their offense, you wouldn't hear anyone say that. But wow, they're not playing good right now.
Struggling is the word that I would use. And like Kittle, I think they need to find more ways to get him the ball. Yep. I think that eventually that'll work out, but who knows? But that is it for this episode, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so that you never miss any of our content. East Coast Brad will be back again on next Friday's episode Thursday. For our picks.
Friday.
And don't miss any of our content, TikToks, everything like that. Kind of a down week last week because shit hit the fan. We won't get into that. But guys, appreciate you. Nate, where can the good people follow you?
Just get on that Twitter page at Gridiron Guys with 2 Z's. That's Gridiron Guys with 2 Z's. And like, comment, repost, and fade the hell out of us.
Yeah. And you can follow me at Luke Bighead on Twitter. I'm not going to give you my Instagram. I say this every week, but I just kind of feel like that's kind of
every week.
Now, every week. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Gridiron Guys with 2 Z's _ Gridiron _ Guys on Twitter. But that's going to be it. Go Big Red. Go Chiefs. Go Jags. Go Commies.
Commies.
Ronald Reagan would be rolling.
Yeah, he'd be upset. Commanders. Let's go, Commanders. Come on now.
Goddamn.
Commies. Goddamn commies.
Commies. Anyway.
All right.
That's going to be
personal,
it.
Guys.
Have a good night.